Okay, everyone, here we go. Just today, a couple of hours ago, got my Taurus GX4 back from Taurus from the infamous recall, the mysterious recall. And going to do a quick follow up on it. Going to go over what was wrong with it. Showed you before that not only was mine in the serial number range of the recall, whatever it is, the mystery of whatever it is. But I sent it in for that, and also that the trigger dingus, the trigger safety, was dead on it after only 80 rounds. And I did have one failure to fire. It was just a dead trigger. I racked it, tried to shoot it, dead trigger completely, no striker release, no nothing. Here's the box, fresh back from Taurus. And let me see. You flip it around, you open it up real quick. And just bear with me for 1 second. So, in a nutshell, this is the way I got it back from Taurus. Send it to him in the box with the 3 magazines that I had and the pistol, and this is how I got it back. Of course, I blocked off information that no one else needs to see but me, but anyhow, Taurus warranty repair. Dear valued customer, let me see what else did they send me. Copy of their FFL order. We don't need that. We'll put that over there. It says, dear valued customer, your firearm has been repaired under our lifetime repair policy. Thank you for being a Taurus owner. Sincerely, customer service. Okay. Notice it says resolution. Can we get a focus? Don't know if that's focusing, but it says resolution right here in this big box. And guess what? The box is completely empty. Nothing. But it does say down here that ammo tested, 26 rounds of Winchester 9mm 115 grain. Okay? So that's it. 24 rounds tested of Winchester 9mm 115 grain full metal jacket. So it's full metal jacket. So I'm sure it's Winchester white box. It's the cheapest stuff they could possibly get. And there were no other comments on it whatsoever. Can you believe it? So I'm going, okay, well, let me look at the firearm and see what they did. We put that aside. So this is the way I got it. It came with this little flag, which actually was already in the box. We put that aside. And my 3 magazines. I'll put that over there. So I'm looking it over. I took it apart. I didn't notice anything different mechanically on the inside of it, but they said it's fine. It's been replaced. Actually, what had been replaced, let me back up a little bit. Not replaced. Let me back up. I don't put the cart before the horse. The trigger dingus is repaired. Okay? So that will no longer fire. So that has been repaired. They did make good on that. Okay? It will not fire. I can't push it in. It doesn't stay now, and that worked. That's perfectly fine. And it has enough spring on it, just like it did when I first got it. Now, rack it. And by the way, the pistol is clear. And there's no ammunition on the table at all in the vicinity. Now, for the trigger pull actually felt a little lighter to me. Here's your reset. Pull. Reset. Break. What I really like about this pistol too is it's probably like 4.5, 5 pound trigger pull, but you get right to that point and there's no take up or creep on it. It comes out. There's your reset. And it's at the wall now, right at the reset. And it breaks. So, since I didn't get any information in the paperwork, they didn't want to explain anything to me, I took it upon myself to call Taurus, and I was on hold for like 45 minutes, but I wasn't going to let go of it, okay? So I stayed on hold, and I was going to get to the bottom of it. So I said to myself, I'm just going to wait and wait and wait and wait and wait. Felt like hanging up. Finally, someone answers the telephone after going to sleep to elevator music. I was literally nodding off. And the representative that I got on the phone was at the best evasive to tell me, to inform me what they had done to my pistol. What I did end up getting out of this person was that they did replace the entire trigger group. Because you said, when I had this problem with the safety shoe and the trigger, or the dingus, or whatever you like to call it, she said that they replaced the entire trigger mechanism, and that her records didn't show any other parts being replaced. But she said that the safety recall did have something to do with the trigger mechanism, but she would not be specific. She basically came out and told me she wasn't allowed to talk about what exactly it was that caused the recall. So if they did anything else, I'm not aware of it. I broke it down. I inspected every part of it internally, and I don't notice anything else that looks brand new. The wear that's on the internals, as far as the contact points, looks identical to the way it was before. And I probably, like I said, I shot about 80 or so rounds through it. So I do have some noticeable wear points on like the sear and places of that nature where all the contacts are made. Other than that, those look identical. My recoil assembly looks identical. The barrel looks identical. The only thing that it was still, you really couldn't even really tell, was the trigger, but I suspected they may have just replaced the whole unit. And the triggers on these I'm not going to say they're complex, but it literally is like a modular unit. It's just the polymer unit, but it's one internal part with all of the springs except for the actual trigger bar spring. It's all fully encased. So this safety mechanism is all built into this unit. So I would imagine that they really can't repair that. I don't think it'd be worth it to them. So they would just put in a new unit in. So I did go on to ask her if there was some kind of, within that serial number range for the recall, which mine fell in, was there something that was out of calibration with the trigger that they just discovered it and they decided to get one of the new modern triggers that were beyond that range of the serial numbers. And she would not commit to an answer. She just said that all she knows is that when it came in, as I had specified the problems that I had informed them of inside of the letter, and I literally wrote a 1-page letter, that they replaced the whole trigger assembly. Not just the shoe, not just the spring, but the whole unit, because she said that was related to the safety recall. Now, if I take off this slide quickly, if I can find something here to pull it off with. Don't mind if I use a knife, do you? Okay. Once again, we're clear. See if I can. Come on, you should pop right off. There you go. Okay, we'll put this aside. There's nothing was changed in here. And I noticed the wear points are the same. I didn't mark my parts, but I can tell because I inspected it very closely beforehand. But if you look in this area, right in here, and let me turn this back this way so you can get a better look down in there. You can see, I don't know if there's enough light in there. You can see that spring moving right there. And let me grab, is this light gonna work? I don't know if that puts any more light in there. Okay. It's really hard to get a good look, but right even in there, you can see the trigger moving. It literally is like a whole modular unit. So they replaced that whole piece. There's your trigger return spring. Trigger return spring is right there. Right there. It hooks onto this front plate, which is part of the chassis. This whole unit has got one large chassis. So basically, if you removed this piece right over here, then the whole chassis will pull out. But I wouldn't recommend it, especially if you're under warranty. It's not very difficult. In fact, I've heard that it's one of the easiest things to do. But since mine was under warranty, I didn't bother. But the long and short of it is, the trigger itself, the whole unit was replaced. And that's what they claim was part of the actual safety recall. It seems to function perfectly fine. Trigger brakes very nicely. Other than the fact that the trigger is slightly gritty on the let out, which will break in after I take it to the range one more time, I can't notice any other difference. The pull actually feels, if not identical, maybe a little lighter, but that could be my imagination. But let me get my gauge on it real quick, and we'll see where she's going to land. All right, ready to go. That's over 5.5 pounds, that one. Let me see. Let me give it another one. Let's get it consistent. We'll do a best of 5. That one I pulled the wrong way. That one went over 6 pounds. I know that's wrong. We're just gonna scratch that one. Okay. See if we can get a focus. Can I get a focus? I don't know if that's focusing. But that is saying just under 5.5 pounds. You see up here. Come on, camera. Ready? Just under 5.5 pounds. Not quite. Now let's get another one. Now that one is just at 5.5 pounds. Is that 4? We'll call this the 5th pull. I'm losing count. Yeah, so now I went way off scale. Let's get one more. When I actually get a good seating on this trigger shoe with the gauge, I get a more accurate reading. Now that one said 6 pounds. It does not feel like, it is not 6 pounds. It's more in the 5.5 pound range. I'd say it's an honest 5.5 pounds. Nope, didn't get a good pull on that one. Come on, baby. Just over 5.5. So we're going to call it 5.5. Once again, finger placement on the trigger is going to vary. But when I pull this, it feels like 5 to 5.5 pounds. I have several, and that makes sense because this is, of course, it's a carry pistol, and it has no external safety, so you want to have a decent trigger on it, but yet you don't want to weight lift when you're pulling the trigger, because that will absolutely cause you to flinch and cause accuracy issues. Yeah. Yep. 5.5. So we're going to call it 5.5 pounds. This thing is, it's primitive, but it does get the job done. The only problem is you get this shoe right here, and it tends to move around and slip around on the trigger face. So it's tough. But this is it really is an excellent pistol. And I think I bought it on the high end. I think I paid about $345 for it when I bought it. But you know something? It's worth every penny of it. As long as this issue, and I'll know after my next range session, is solved, and it appears to be. And you can hear the reset. And there it is. And it's at the wall already. Very little creep. I mean, there's really no creep. Once this thing comes out, at that reset, you're at the wall. And then it just breaks. It's awesome. So that's my follow-up to the Taurus GX4 issue that I had, and my take on the recall, my interactions with Taurus. And they were very nice over the telephone, but the only thing I'm not happy with, they make like a big mystery out of it. And you get this repair order, and it's just, and they make it sound like, dear valued customer, your firearm has been repaired under our lifetime repair policy. Thank you for being a Taurus owner. It doesn't even say, under the safety recall. They're really tiptoeing around the tulips on this thing. They don't want to put anything on paper. They don't want anybody to say anything as to what exactly it was. I know we live in a country that's drowning in legal nonsense, but they really should be a little more forthcoming about what exactly is going on and what the issue was. But they don't want to put it. I mean, they even left the resolution blank. If anybody else has had this type of an experience with their Taurus firearm, especially for this GX4 recall, please comment below and let me know and share it with everybody else, because the only way we're going to come to any kind of a decent conclusion with this. But in the end, the bottom line in the end is that the firearm is functioning correctly. I did send it in for the safety recall. It's been tested. It's been, tested with what? 26 rounds, half a box, basically. So is that a real endurance test? No. I'll go and I'll put at least another 100 through it next time I take it out. And I'll have a good feel for where I'm at. If I have another trigger malfunction, well, it'll be going back again. And once I do go to the range again, I'll absolutely squeeze my results in, or I'll post some kind of a follow-up to it. Anyway, thank you so much for watching, everyone. I really appreciate you. Thanks for taking the time out of your day to listen to this follow-up. And if anybody has any questions, any concerns, anything you want me to do a follow-up, I can answer in the comment section down below about my experience with this. Anything I forgot to mention, please do. I will absolutely answer all your questions. And if you don't mind, you could please hit the like button. It helps out with the algorithm. I am not monetized. I don't do this for money. I do it because it's a hobby, and I do it to help my fellow hobbyists and my fellow shooters out. That's all. We're a community in that respect, and we really need to share this information to, better our understanding of what exactly is going on, and get an explanation about these firearms that we're investing our money in, and we're, quite frankly, you could possibly be risking your life and accounting your life on. This could be your last-ditch stand insurance policy. So if we can help each other out, please do it. Like, subscribe, thumbs up. It's all greatly appreciated. You all have a nice day. And once again, thank you for watching. And if I don't happen to post another video beforehand, everyone have a happy, happy Thanksgiving. Have a great rest of your day. Bye-bye now.